At first glance, the videos and photos tell a story of a family that loved guns. But who they shared those guns and their home with came as a shock to local authorities. The homeowner, Joel Cano, a Democratic judge in Doña Ana County, New Mexico, who resigned last month following a raid on his home, in which Christian Ortega Lopez was arrested, charged with being in the country illegally and possessing a firearm.
This judge's daughter is allowing this illegal alien to have access to firearms, which is unlawful under 18 U.S.C. 922G. It is a felony for this illegal alien to be in possession of firearms.
Court documents reveal he entered the country unlawfully in December 2023, and a few months later had been hired by the judge's wife, Nancy, who later offered him a place to stay in her residence that she shared with her husband. But most shocking, Homeland Security officials say Ortega Lopez displayed clear indicators of his association with the Venezuelan gang Tren de Aragua, or TDA. Not just his clothing or tattoos, but voicemails and text messages, they say, provide significant evidence for their case against him. One reason they ask that he remain behind bars.
Great to have you with us. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks so much. We have got to talk about this ridiculous judge in New Mexico who has been harboring a Tren de Aragua terrorist. This is who the Democrats are. This is who they are. Make no mistake about it. This is the part of history where they basically, it's the show your ass theory. They are telling us exactly who they are over and over and over again. They are ultra far left. They are America last. They are American worker last. They hate you, and they will do everything in their power to advance the globalist agenda. This is just nuts. You've got to see this. Thanks everybody for being here. Really appreciate you rolling up and supporting the show. If you're here, please smash that like button, subscribe, comment. And if you like the content, please share it with everybody that you know. So we're going to dive into this judge, Cano, in New Mexico, who was caught harboring a Tren de Aragua illegal in his home. So we're going to dive into these videos. And just to give you an idea, this is not an isolated incident. We're going to go check out, once again, the governor of New Jersey, who talked about this exact same thing. So without further ado, here we go.
A New Mexico judge resigned from the bench after an alleged Tren de Aragua gang member was arrested at his home. Doña Ana County Magistrate Judge Joel Cano wrote his resignation on March 3rd, but the Supreme Court and 3rd Judicial District Court did not receive it till March 31st. A spokesman for the Administrative Office of the Courts, AOC, told Fox News Digital. Homeland Security Investigations Las Cruces began looking into Venezuelan native Christian Ortega Lopez in January. Lopez is an illegal alien from Venezuela and a suspected member of a criminal gang who was residing with other illegal aliens and in possession of firearms, court documents suggest. 2 search warrants were executed at a home investigators on February 28th, identified as owned by Cano's wife, Nancy Cano. Ortega Lopez and his roommates were taken into custody, and agents seized 4 firearms from April Cano's residence. April Cano is the daughter of Nancy and Joel. Court documents state, Ortega Lopez was found by investigators posing with weapons in social media posts, some of which he said were owned by April Cano, who allowed him to hold and sometimes shoot various firearms. Ortega Lopez admitted to illegally entering the U.S. from Mexico in December 2023, according to court documents. He reportedly told investigators he was living in an El Paso apartment with 5 others when he met Nancy Cano. To install a glass door for her, he continued to do a few jobs for Nancy Cano, and after being evicted from the apartment in April 2024, Nancy Cano offered her casita in the back of the residence she shared with her husband, Joel Cano. Court documents state the suspect.
So a sitting judge, a sitting magistrate judge in New Mexico and his wife knowingly take in an illegal alien. Knowingly take in an illegal alien that is associated with Tren de Aragua and all of the violence that they have done around the country. Let that sink in. This is not an oops. They weren't bringing in some, U.S. Army veteran Did they do that? Did they bring in a U.S. Army veteran to live in their home? No, they didn't. They brought in a known criminal, illegal alien, and then let this person have firearms, which is a second violation of the law. This is who these people are. They care nothing of the law as long as they are advancing their ultra-left, socialist, progressive, anti-American, globalist agenda.
Suspect made his first appearance in a Las Cruces court on March 3rd. During a detention hearing on March 14th, U.S. Magistrate Judge Damian L. Martinez asked Assistant United States Attorney, AUSA, Maria Armijo if she knew Judge Cano. When Armijo said she did not, Judge Martinez said he had met him outside the courtroom several times, adding, "I don't think he would just let anybody live in his property." Martinez said Ortega Lopez was not a flight risk or danger to the community and ordered him to be released. On April 8th, a motion was filed by an assistant U.S. attorney to reconsider Ortega Lopez's pretrial release order. Records from Doña Ana County Assessor's Office say the home Ortega Lopez was arrested at is owned by both Nancy and Jose Cano, who goes by Joel. Cano's resignation letter stated his last day on the job was March 21st. "All the best to every one of you, Joel Cano."
It is not enough that he resign. He needs to be criminally charged for harboring a felon, for harboring a criminal. It is not enough to let these people resign. They need to be charged for this stuff. Now, just to show you, this is not an isolated incident. This isn't the one guy around the country. Remember, does anybody remember the governor of New Jersey? Check this out. Just to show you that this goes back to, this is rampant in the Democrat Party. This is who they are.
Talking about, I don't want to get into too much detail, but there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her. Talking about, I don't want to get into too much detail, but there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to.
So in other words, he's got an illegal alien living in his home as the governor of New Jersey. As a state sitting governor, he is harboring an illegal. He is harboring a criminal. By definition, if you are in this country illegally, you are a criminal. You are here criminally. You are criminally trespassing in the United States of America. You are criminally receiving benefits that are not due to you. This is just absolutely ridiculous. This is who the Democrat Party is. They have to go. Resigning is not enough. They need to be charged. Now, the rest of the Democrat Party is certainly following suit. They are all in with the illegals. We've discussed this many times. They hate you. They are all in for criminal illegal aliens, not for the American public. Check this out.
Read a headline to you. Chicago leaders encourage residents to exercise their rights in resisting Trump's deportation policies. The governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy, basically admitted that he knew somebody that didn't have full documentation, that he was hiding over his garage.
But there's someone in our broader universe whose immigration status is not yet at the point that they are trying to get it to. And we said, you know what, let's have her live at our house above our garage. And good luck to the feds coming in to try to get her.
Your comment on all of that?
I think the governor's pretty foolish saying what he said, because I got note of it. Won't let it go. We'll look into it. And if he's knowingly harboring, concealing an illegal alien, that's a violation of Title 8 United States Code 1324. I would seek prosecution, or the secretary would seek prosecution. So maybe he's bluffing. If he's not, we'll deal with that. And as far as suing sanctuary cities, well, get in line, because the Trump administration is going to do that already. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals. There's one example, right? If the young sanctuary cities in New York City, if they would have gave us over the killer of Laken Riley when he got arrested in New York City for endangering a child, he would have been in jail, and he would have never killed Laken Riley. Sanctuary cities are responsible for deaths of thousands of young children throughout my career, and we're going to sue them. We're going to hold them. And look, if he's got to go to the Supreme Court, that's what President Trump wanted to do. He will end sanctuary cities.
You know, there was a 2011 Government Accountability Office study found 3 million criminal.
So I love what Tom Homan said here. Now, this was before inauguration and everything else. Where are the prosecutions? Why isn't the New Jersey governor being investigated? Where is the court case? Why isn't he being perp walked out of the governor's residence? Because if he harbored an illegal alien, he needs to get charged. Whether it's with a misdemeanor or otherwise, he needs to get charged. The same thing needs to happen to all of these sanctuary cities. Mayor Boston, Boston Mayor Wu, people in San Francisco, J.B. Pritzker, and the idiot mayor in Chicago who's got an approval rating of like 6%. Where are all of, I mean, we talked a big game before inauguration, but it has since been inauguration and we have done nothing. Now, there's been a lot of deportations. I'm happy about that, but I want to see real accountability for the people who are actively thwarting ICE. Let's make it happen. Now, again, just to show you that this is not an isolated incident. Here we go. We're going to visit with the 4 nitwits who went to El Salvador in violation of the Logan Act, in my opinion, again, advocating not for American citizens, not for American veterans who fought for this country, who are now homeless or who have severe PTSD or other mental problems. No. Are they arguing for them? No. Are they arguing for the poor American citizens in inner city neighborhoods that are struggling to get by? Are they arguing for them? No, they're not arguing for them. No, they have traveled halfway around the world to advocate for criminal, illegal aliens. Here we go.
And it's about following what the Supreme Court is saying and bringing him back home.
We all should be terrified by the idea that anyone could be taken and put away in another country and then abstain from saying that they have any accountability for bringing them home.
I'm here on behalf of my constituents. I'm not the type of legislator to wait till something gets to the point where it's, so bad we can't do anything about it. Now's the chance. Now's the time to take a stand and say this is not right. And the Supreme Court has directed you to do something. You do it.
We understand that there are some people that are being sent here that have done horrific things. We understand that, but that's not a majority of the people that are being sent here. People deserve a right to stand in front of a judge or a jury or a court, make their case, and that be the process. That is being taken away from people. Our form of government and the way that we follow the law and the Constitution is dissolving because of Donald Trump. This is a line he has crossed in the sand that we cannot allow him to continue. We've got to move this back. And
ridiculous people want to give constitutional rights to criminal illegal aliens, to illegal aliens in general, who are not citizens of this country at all. They are not citizens of this country. And yet they want them to have your constitutional rights. They are all in for the criminal illegals. That's who they support. That's who they love. That's who they are advocating for. Not American citizens, not the poor among us, not the working class among us, not the veterans among us, not the people who may have been railroaded by the justice system in this country, American citizens. No. They are advocating for illegal aliens whose only right is to not be mistreated in their deportation. They are here illegally. They have one right, if you ask me, and that right is to be deported back to their country. Should they be incarcerated here in the United States forever? No. They should be detained and deported with the rider that they never ever come back in the United States, or they'll be deemed an invader, a felon, and then, hey, lock them up, send them to Gitmo. They come in more than once. These people need to be rounded up and deported, but the Dems don't think so. They want them to have court case after court case after court case. They want to let 20 million people into the country without anything so much as a signature. And then they want multiple court cases costing upwards of $1 million each to get rid of them. Well, think about that. $20 trillion that they want to have spent to deport these people. That and years and years and years and years, so that they don't ever want them to leave. They want them to take your jobs. They want them to take your benefits. They want them to take your kid's place in school. They want them to suck everything dry so that those living in inner city neighborhoods who are struggling to get by lose whatever support they had from the government. That's what they want. That's who these people are. They love the criminal illegals. They love the illegals in general way more than they do citizens because they are not America. They're not true American patriots. They are not America first. They're not even America at the same time. They are America last. Check this out.
Here's Senator Van Hollen. He was on Fox News Sunday yesterday, and Shannon Bream asked him, did you ask him to defend himself from, two judges and really three suggested that he was part of a gang in the first two and that he needed to be avoiding another gang perhaps by the third judge. And here's what he said, Senator. Watch.
I did not ask him directly because he's answered that question repeatedly, as his lawyers have. My purpose in going there was to, number one, see if he was alive, see if he was healthy, take his story. I want to be very clear. I'm not vouching for the man. I'm vouching for the man's rights.
You absolutely vouched for the man. You said over and over again, he was a Maryland father. You said he was not a criminal. You said that he was not guilty of any of this. You have vouched again and again and again. Yet, when people in your state that you represent were asked if you had ever done anything for them, their resounding, unanimous answer was no. You couldn't care less about the citizens of Maryland. You only care about the illegals who are trying to destroy America.
His constitutional rights to due process.
What do you make of that argument, Senator?
It's all performative politics right now for the Democrats. It's all they have. It's because they got stomped at the ballot box in November by a President Trump, who actually ran on the idea of making this country great, ran on deporting people who are here illegally, especially those criminal elements. And there's more than 1 million of those of the 20 million that came here illegally. So they lost that argument with the American people. And now I think through this sort of combination of Trump derangement syndrome and their disdain that many of the Democrats in Washington have for just normal Americans, that comes through. It's why they've lost working class voters. But this is the focus of their attention now, and all the political energy on the Democrat side is for this guy Garcia, who's an MS-13 member. I can't really believe it, but they're going with this. And so I think it's an opportunity for us to continue to have this debate about how detrimental illegal immigration has been for this country.
Absolutely. You heard what he said. Their disdain for the American people. It is why they have lost the working class vote. They've lost the union vote. They've lost the blue collar vote. They've lost the working class vote because they continually show their ass to everybody who will look. And and what they are saying over and over and over again is, we hate you. We love people from other countries that come here illegally. Why? Because we can control them. We can pay them slave wages. We can allow our big billionaire donors to make oodles of cash, give us more money, and we can give these people the right to register to vote, and then we can control their vote and vote for them. Their goal is to create a perpetual one-party state, just like California, and we all saw how good that has worked out for California, which is absolutely it's becoming a third world country. It's absolutely crazy. Now, I'm going to end with this last segment, which is just very brief, because I thought that she said it, she summed it up very accurately, and that is Patty Marin, Rachel Marin's mother, at the end of her press conference. She was the guest at Caroline Leavitt's press conference. Here we go.
Please tell the truth. Exactly. Tell the truth.
Yeah.
Tell how violent it really is. This is about protecting our children. It's more than just politics or votes or just anything. It's about national security, protecting Americans, protecting our children. Thank you. And thank you for listening.
The Democrats don't care about Americans or children. They don't care about any of that. They care about winning. They care about power. That's the only thing they care about. And she's absolutely right. Tell the truth. Tell the truth about Kilmar Abrego Garcia. He has had plenty of due process. He has had 2 adjudicated hearings which issued deportation orders. over and over again that he has been before a judge. They have said, deport him. He is clearly, by every measure, a member of MS-13. He's got the tattoos. He was arrested with 2 other MS-13 members. He was arrested with rolls of cash and drugs on his person. He has been given his wife has been given 2 protective orders for severe domestic violence. His membership with MS-13 was confirmed by El Salvadorian intelligence, who wouldn't lie to us because they don't want him back. That was also confirmed by U.S. intelligence. Yes, he is a member of MS-13. Tell the truth, and also tell the truth how violent these people are. The thousands of women and children who have been victimized by criminal illegal aliens in this country. The 250,000 deaths a year to fentanyl that has been trafficked by these criminal illegal aliens. The 500,000 missing children who have been trafficked into slavery or into sex trafficking by these criminal illegal aliens. It is time that we stand up for the defenseless in our society. And criminal illegal aliens are not defenseless. Send them back to their country. But the Democrats won't, because they want their vote that they can control. They want to create a permanent one-party state. They want power, and they are willing to sacrifice every single American to get it. They don't care about you. They hate you. They love illegals because that is the globalist agenda. Hey, thanks everybody for rolling up. Please smash that like button for me. Like, subscribe, comment, and if you like this comment, please share it with everybody that you know. Help us grow the channel. Help us get back to where we were with Courageous Media before we got demonetized. But let's get back there. We really appreciate everybody's help. Thank you so much for all your support. You can also support us on Patreon, or now that we are monetized, feel free to join us as a member on YouTube. We can take supers, buy us a cup of coffee, all of that. We really appreciate it. Thank you very much.